People have been asking questions. So we're going to jump into the Q&A. You guys have any questions about anything Christy and Margot mentioned? Feel free to raise your digital hand. And while we wait, I will go through the chat and pose you guys some questions that some people were asking. But either put your questions in the chat or raise your digital hand and I'll call on you guys. And we can start getting to some Q&A and drop some more knowledge. Let me see here. While we wait on people to raise their hands, Jeff said he missed a few minutes in the beginning. Oh, hey, Jeff, why don't you come on?
I was letting you speak for me, Logan. Come on.
Oh, man. No
You can speak
worries.
for me. I was going to ventriloquist. Okay. The question I was going to say is if the deal's going, the one storage deal that you were discussing earlier, if it's going very well, better than expected, why get out of it? Why not keep it and keep rolling with it?
It is a lot of work and it is going well because of the exact team that we have at this exact moment. We want to use that equity that we get from that deal to do a bunch of other deals, right? So the value that we're building is hockey sticking, and then it's going to plateau. And then it's only going to produce 7-10%. It's not going to be hockey stick anymore. So number one, the team that we have, we can't hold that team together forever, but we can sell the dream to somebody else to come in and say, look, there's still more expansion room. You can do parking. You can do this. You can do that. There's still a lot of meat on the bone. But the meat that we get off of that, boy, oh boy, are we going to feast. And our investors also.
Yeah.
It gives you a full cycle, a full turn. You're
Fast.
That's quick,
Yes.
and makes your investors go, these girls are doing a great job. They're doing it right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
What Christy said, the important thing is there is a point if you're doing value add where the amount that your income and your value are increasing levels off. And so at that point, there's really, in most cases, not a point in staying in.
Understand.
For
Understand.
us.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Is that it, Jeff?
Yep, that was it.
Awesome. Really appreciate you. I know we had a couple other questions in here. I don't see anyone else who's raised their hand, but I see Dana asked a question, but Vanessa raised her hand. So Vanessa, go ahead and I'll spotlight you here. There we go. Go ahead, Vanessa.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First and foremost, you did amazing today. I loved it. Thank you so much for putting all the effort today. And thank you to Miss Margot and Miss Christy as well for all of the knowledge. Learned a lot today. Thank you so much. My question was, Miss Christy mentioned that she is very shy, and I am as well. Like I have medicated social anxiety. That has been the hardest part for me. I don't know, underwriting, I can do it. Like I'm happy to do it. But for instance, when it comes to actually building relationships for capital raising, it's been a little bit harder for me. Since you mentioned that relationships are everything, particularly on the capital raising side of things, I was wondering if you had any advice for someone who's like very shy and just like overthinks every word that they're saying. And yeah, I would really appreciate advice there.
Here's the thing. I am shy in my personal life. And getting a partner, for me, partnering with Margot was very personal. And my personal life, like my dating life, is horrible because I'm shy. Professionally, I can turn it on and I can go and talk because you know what? I'm never going to talk to these people again if necessary. I can mess up terribly and just, I don't have to talk to them again and go on. And especially over the phone. If you are talking to someone or if you have a Zoom with someone and you just really bomb, you don't have to talk to them ever again. But I will say this, most people are actually nice. If you are just a little bit goofy, or Margot and I, the only reason we haven't done as much social media and all of that is because we are goofy and we don't always look right and our makeup's not always done. And so we have done things like we had a meeting, a Zoom meeting with our partners, and on Zoom, there's a feature for a beard. And so we just started making beards and it got darker and darker. And we just waited for them to say something. Like you have to break the tension. You just have to push yourself, because if you want to be a capital raiser, you have to talk to people. If you want to underwrite, You don't have to talk to anybody. You can just send them spreadsheets and it's great. But if you want to be a capital raiser, you can do it social media. You can just start making videos at home by yourself. There's nobody there. Just start putting it out by yourself. Don't even talk to people. Talk to yourself. So that's my advice, Vanessa. Good luck.
Thank
You
you
have
so
to
much.
do that for yourself. Christy, you have to do that for yourself. Take your own advice for your personal life and be your own personal warrior.
Yeah. I know,
Hey,
Jeff. I hear you. I hear you.
no, it's the truth. It's a fact. If you treat every relationship the same, I've done over 7,000 transactions as a real estate broker. And I can tell you, I treat everybody the same and I try to make sure I'm honest, ethical. I'm usually my personality. And the quirkiness that you're talking about is the perfection is in the imperfection. They know you're real when you're not perfect. AI.
Right.
And so you need to lean into that. I'm just telling you, lean into that.
Yeah,
Good
no,
stuff, Jeff.
we've decided we're going to just make videos. We don't care how we look. The hair is not
Mhm.
going to be perfect. We're taking the Tim route and we're only going to wear blue shirts like this. So we don't have to
Mine's
think about what we're wearing.
mine's dirty.
See?
Those
No, like,
lines that you can't smell.
yeah,
Mm.
there's no smell-o-vision. Yeah, we're working it out.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, really good stuff, Vanessa and Jeff. Really appreciate it. Sean, you want to go next? What questions did you
Yeah.
have for?
Thanks. I am not video. Speaking of appearance and stuff, I'm just not ready for video right now. Otherwise, I would.
No worries.
But anyway, yeah, thank you so much, Margot and Christy. That was a really great discussion and presentation. And I can feel your passion about self-storage space and really enjoyed hearing about some of your lessons learned. And that's also awesome too, because you guys are pretty honest and transparent. I was just curious, you referenced, yeah, you have one self-storage deal that's going really well, and it was already asked, why don't you want to keep it? But I was just curious, can you just go over the numbers on one of your deals, just what the purchase price was, how much you had to raise, how many units it was? I thought that would be beneficial and a good exercise if you can do that within the time limits.
Here, so really quickly on Access Jackson, we bought it for 3.1 on March 1st, 2024. We initially told investors they'd be making 23% annualized. Day one, Class A investors were 10% pref. Class B investors is 7% pref. If it's supposed to be a 3-year hold, we actually revised those numbers for our investors and told them we project 25% annualized return, and we actually have them capped is the way that it's structured. So they're capped at a 25% annualized return. We're going to shorten it to 2 years. So they will make a 1.5 on their money. And we're projecting to exit like January, February of next year if everything goes as planned. We had to raise about 1.5 million for that deal. The deal we're doing right now, again, it's about a 1.4 million raise. We're structuring the deal so that we can have fund managers in on it. We can easily pay 7 to 10% on that. There's plenty of cash flow. We plan to keep it for at least 5 years. Those are the types of deals that we do. Cash flow day one.
Your investors were not disappointed when you had to deliver that news to them.
No, they were super happy. And the reason that we restructured is because the last couple 100,000 of that capital raise, we brought in a fund manager who was capped at 18%, I think it is, or 15%, something like that. Was it?
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
it was, it allowed us
Less
to
than
give
the 23,
extra
yeah.
juice to our existing investors. So everybody was happy. Again, we believe that there's enough out there for everybody. And if we can do better for you, we're going to.
Very good stuff. Edwin, you're up next.
Ladies, thank you so much. It's like a lot of knowledge been dropped away. I wish I had one of those USB cables and just download all this information that you guys have. Just even if I could do it wirelessly, just Wi-Fi you guys from wherever you're at, just download everything. You guys just dropped like a lot of knowledge, and everything you said, for you guys who are new here, Vanessa, if you're listening, this is for you as well. Everything Jeff said on point, the girls, everything they said on point, especially the last two questions that Logan put out there is so true. The way these girls answered it. I myself ran into a little situation. So I just started going hard with this since November, and really hard, putting 18 hours, 20 hours a day, about 5, 6 days a week. And in those 5 months, 5 or 6 months, a lot of things have happened. A lot of good things have happened, plus a couple bad things, to say the least, right? And so one of the things that you guys talked about was networking, but networking with the right people, feeling comfortable, like the both of you girls just did, right? You can network, but you can't really, if I don't like you, I'm just not going to do business with you. That's plain and simple, right? And so the both of you just found that connection, right? And things cannot go wrong when you got that mutual respect and that morality involved in everything you guys do. So that's beautiful to hear, because that also gives me a sense of pride of what I'm doing outside here with a couple of people that, after my bad experiences, you guys just backed it up knowing that I'm doing it the right way now. And so there's that, right? Then there's the whole how to getting away from the shy thing, right? Just like Chrissy, which BS, okay? I'm also shy, but somehow it popped out. And now I find myself doing all kinds of social media, to a point where I'm actually being pulled into doing co-hosting with other people, doing co-hosting meetups, shaking hands, meeting people. Now I'm JPing with people, which I think it was you, Miss Margaret, who said now you can invest with some of these people, bring some kind of value. And so now I'm underwriting. Let me phrase that. I'm not underwriting. I'm learning how to underwrite, but there's people here who's underwriting. And when I call these brokers for some of these properties, yeah, I own 13,000 properties, oh, 13,000 doors, because I'm part of that portfolio now. Now I understand the language. I understand how to present that. So now I get to have these conversations with these brokers and sellers and moving forward along the way. And so that just, again, just tops everything into a verification mode where everything you have said has been vetted. And not that anything you said before wasn't true. It's just that the last two questions that Logan dropped in there, and the way you guys answer it, just vetted everything that I had going on in my life right now. Because I'm here saying, this is me when you guys started. This is me while you guys are doing it. I had a property sniped. I was looking at a property when I first started, Miss Chrissy did. It was 128 units, I think it was, in Conyers, Georgia, and that got sniped. And so that left a bad taste in my mouth. But then meeting people like the way you two connected, that turned everything around. So now tomorrow I'm flying to Atlanta to look at two multifamilies over there. And then I'm flying
Awesome.
back for a meetup tomorrow night. Yeah, so it's how this works. And then when you get yourself within the right community, like here in Hero, where I landed with Tim, thank you God he's not here, because he likes to pick on me, by the way. All right. This is leadership at its finest. And just a quick story with Tim, I reached out to him months ago, and he asked me what I was looking into. And I told him multifamily capital raising. And all he says, welcome aboard. Been in this community since. So when you have leadership like him, with, as my nephew would say, not an ounce of bad juju, and is always happy. He puts himself not even second, just 5 or 10 steps behind, just to let his community grow and bring value, just bring success, which is what you two ladies are. It's just, you guys are walking success into this group. It says a lot about the type of leadership that he is. And we just got to save Logan from him, because hey, we're going to call you out next. That's a Tim slogan right there. All right.
That's my job.
Logan, love you, man. Thank you for putting something like this together, my guy.
Yeah.
And to you
Yeah,
girls,
really.
thank you for this. I myself needed to hear it. I'm one of those, like Chrissy, I needed to hear this. I just needed to know what's going to happen in the next coming hours once I get on that flight and head north. And now I got the structure and the people involved, the people I'm going to be dealing with along the way.
Thank
Very
you,
good stuff,
and we
Edwin.
appreciate your joining us, and we appreciate all of your kind words, and have a very safe trip.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Very good stuff, Edwin. Love to hear from you as always. I do want to get you guys
Sure.
into your breakout sessions, but I do have a couple more questions I want to get to. Dana asked earlier, how does self-storage appreciate compared to multifamily at your exit? Is it based on NOI? Is the play to only increase rents?
All commercial real estate is forced appreciation, right? And yes, there is increasing rents, but the deals that we buy, we have a tremendous opportunity to improve the expense side. So a lot of the properties that we're buying, the expense ratio can be as high as 50%. And a well-run self-storage facility, the expense ratio is much closer to about 30%. So there's a tremendous savings right there. And that's day one savings. Changing the way that the seller is running the property to the way that we're running the property. Our only common expenses really are the property taxes, insurance, those are things, but everything else, like the water bill is minimal, the utilities are minimal, unless it's climate control, but then you know what that is. So you really have a great opportunity to get a hold of the expense side. So you don't have to push the income side quite as much. But yes, you do. And here's the big thing. In self-storage, if I raise rents 10%, $100 unit, I'm raising it by $10. Nobody is going to rent a truck, get their friends together, buy them pizza and beer over $10 a month. It just doesn't happen. So what we do is every 7 months or so, we do an increase, and it's about 5 to 7%. It's 7% is for the year. So it's about a 3.5% every 7 months or so. If you're renting for $100 a month, you're not going anywhere over $3.50 more or $4. It's going to take you a couple years to go, oh, come on. Yeah.
Very well said. And I agree. No, everyone's got to rent something sometime. But Dana said thank you. So great answer to her question. We got time for one or two more. I know Chris asked, can you expand on Go High Level? I'll give a quick, if Chris doesn't know, it's a CRM to manage your leads more effectively, but I'm not sure if he wanted to get your guys' perspective on how you use Go High Level, specifically how you're trying to adapt it with what we do in the Alliance.
We literally, we were like, hey, can y'all set up our Go High Level? And a week later, it was set up. And we drank about it because we were so happy. We toasted and we high-fived.
And that was literally days before we went to the event last week. I've lost track of time. I guess it's been a couple days. Yeah. And so as far as how far have we gone beyond that? We're just getting started, but a great program that you guys have put together.
We're excited.
You should look into it. I can't recommend it more highly.
Awesome.
Nice.
Hey, we did not pay them for this promotion. They're doing it of their own free accord. Okay, you guys have spoke amazingly about what we do in the Alliance, so I just want to thank you for that. But one last question. Rod said, what's your typical operating expense ratio for investors, typical IRR, MOIC to expect?
IRR is going to be about IRR is a function of how quickly you get the money back. If we're doing a 3-year deal, the IRR is going to be like 19%. If it's a 5-year deal, it's probably going to be about 17%. The average annualized return is 20% minimum. That's what we target. I'm not sure what the question is about expense ratio, if that's for the deal or for some other metric that fund managers use. I don't understand that question.
Why don't we do this? We'll put Rod in a breakout session with you guys so that we can get to, I don't want to, I'm already in trouble with Tim because typically we do 2, but you guys had so many good questions. We'll probably just have time for the single breakout session.
Logan,
but
own it, man. Tim is not here. Let's make a party out of this.
No, I still got to do the breakout session because you guys still want to be able to talk you guys still want to be able to talk and network with everybody. But before we send you into your breakout sessions, a couple of announcements. Tomorrow, Tim is doing our capital raising and AI challenge live tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central. We put the link in the chat for you guys to register. I know you guys have been to a lot of our like Wednesday, Thursday free webinars we do all around raising capital, the strategies and tools we use. Totally free. Everyone can come. We're going to drop a lot of really good knowledge. So sign up for that. And then also, if you guys do want the recordings for all of these calls, all 52 weeks of these calls, we'll put the VIP upgrade link in the chat so you can access them on demand anytime you want. Margot and Christy talked up the Alliance quite a bit. If anyone's interested in learning more about how you can work with Tim and Hero and what we do, raise more money, upgrade your marketing, I'll put my contact info down there in the chat. But again, I want to thank Christy and Margot for everything you guys did, answering so many questions. And before I put you guys in your breakout sessions, let's take a group picture. So everyone, cameras on. Don't be shy. Show your beautiful faces. Everyone turn on your cameras. And we are going to do a group picture. And I think by now you guys know what we do here. We flex. We flex in our group picture. Show your big muscles. I know we've all been going to the gym, getting that summer. All right, everyone ready?
Go.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Yay, awesome.